let anyone, do not let any person, any being on this earth change your heart from who God would have meant for you to be. That God did not allow the bad experiences to change my heart. When the people that are supposed to protect you are the people that hurt you, it makes you want to turn your mind against love. It makes you want to turn your heart away from everything, and it causes you to self-sabotage. Welcome back to another episode of The Purposeful Podcast. Of course, I'm your hostess, Danica Giddings. If you are A1 from day one of the puff, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. I'm sticking with puff. If you are A1 from day one, part of the puff, the purposeful family, I just want to shout out to you and I want to say welcome back. If you are new here, grab you a pillow, a blanket, a sheet, and just get comfortable. Welcome to our family. Welcome to a safe space where we will talk about growth. We'll talk about resilience. Everything that you need, every single thing that you need, we will be discussing here in this space. If you have any questions, please go ahead and leave it in the comments. Remember, guys, this is more than just a podcast. We are a family. So if you are new here again, welcome. And yeah, how have you guys been? How have you guys been doing? I know I haven't posted, and I keep saying that, but it's just life be lifing sometimes. Life gets really overwhelming, and I've just been doing so much, so very much, and I've decided to take a few steps back from some of the things that I've been doing just to give myself a chance to breathe. Honestly, guys, oh my gosh, your girl has been working. Listen, you, who was the person that fought for women to work? Like, come on. Like, you could have marched for, sis, you could have marched for you alone, no lie. It was you know what, it never was that serious. It was never that serious. I'm just joking. I don't know. I can't not work. Like, I feel like I'm so accustomed to being on the go. When my car was done the other day, I think I told you guys about the fact that my car was crashed just the night before my birthday, and I just had limited means of moving around because it's really expensive having to take transportation from place to place. But when my car was done, guys, your girl was struggling. I was struggling so much to stay put because I'm so accustomed to being on the go, to moving here, there, and everywhere. I do like 10 million things in one week, but it's not just because I have to, but because that's the way, I guess, I train my mind. So at any point in time, I feel like I have too much time that I'm not doing anything. I just feel so uneasy. But I'm learning right now, one of the things that I'm learning is to sit in a moment of rest. To sit in a moment of rest. I feel like we're so accustomed, or we're taught rather, especially in today's society, to be on the go, to be on the grind. And I heard someone said that they'll sleep when they die. No, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. Catch your rest. Ensure that you're getting sufficient rest. Ensure that you're getting enough water intake during the day. That is so important. Ensure that you're eating right. Ensure that you are working out. Make sure that you're doing these things for you, because if you don't do it, your body forces you to do it. Take it from someone who knows. I would literally crash sometimes. I'm telling you guys, sometimes when I get home from work and I lay in my bed, I literally blank out until morning. Like, I have no clue what happens. It's just I literally blank out during the night. So you don't want to get to that point where your body have to force you to rest, because it will. It will. And that is a ridiculous amount of stress. And then sometimes it gets worse to where you completely fall ill due to being overworked, due to not having enough rest, and not taking proper care of yourself, guys. So in this season, remember, we are healing, we are growing mentally, physically, spiritually. We are healing, we are growing, and we are getting to the peak of ourselves and of our purpose. And I'm so happy, 100% happy. I'm so thankful that I get to share this journey with you guys. For the past few days, I've been feeling really down courage. I don't know why. I've been feeling like I am not doing enough, even though I just told you guys that I'd be doing a whole lot. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But for the past couple of days or weeks, I've been feeling like I'm not doing enough. Maybe I'm not doing enough of the right things, but I do the intentional things to purposely grow and to heal and to be more healthy and just to have better habits and so on. I have been working on those things. Like, I've been trying to go to the gym more consistently, but guys, that is so hard. It is so hard to go to the gym all the time. I go to the gym most. You want to see me live at the gym? Let me be hurting from something. Let me be angry at someone. I think that's where I go and take out all my anger and just vent really and just really get it all out at the gym. But I've been struggling to be consistent. Oh my gosh. But I'm working on it, definitely. I'm working on drinking more water every day. Drink. Am I the only one that water goes straight through? I feel like as soon as I drink a cup of water, I gotta go to the bathroom. As soon as I drink water, I gotta go to the bathroom. I feel like water goes straight through my body, just in, out. That's it. So it's not that I don't want to drink water. I love to drink a lot of water. It's just that I don't want to have to go to the bathroom ever so often. It's crazy. But I try. I try, you girl. I'll try. Speaking of fitness, Prince Coppin of Prince Coppin Fit, he has a 60 days booty camp. Ladies, you can definitely check it out that he's doing for the summer. 60 days booty camp. I don't know what day he's at right now, but it started, I think, on the 4th of July. And he's doing it every weekend. You can definitely check him out. Check out the page. I was there on Sunday, and your girl almost died. I almost died. It was so intense. It was so very intense. The exercises that he had us doing. I was trying to catch my breath. And if you didn't know, if I never told you guys, I'm asthmatic. So I was trying to catch my breath. The exercises were so intense, so you'll definitely get your money's worth. He has all the drinks that you need, the pre-workout supplements that he gives you free of cost. And the program that he has going is literally 10 out of 10. You will get your money's worth. So ladies, if you're looking to get your summer body ready, check out Prince Coppin at Prince Coppin Fit. I think his business's page is called Fitness Legacy. You guys can definitely check that out on all social media platforms and definitely hit him up for the booty camp that he has going on because it's so very intense. It's so good. 10 out of 10 recommend. So let me tell you guys what I really wanted to talk to you about today. There's this thing that has been on my mind for the past few weeks as I was processing some events that happened recently and even in the past, because I like to take some time to sit and reflect on the day, the week, the month, even the year to see how far I would have come. And you guys should definitely try it. If you don't journal, I 10 out of 10 recommend journaling. You really get a chance to sit back and really understand how far you have come, especially when you set out goals for the year and you journal. I know it's going to be hard to journal every day, but just write down your daily activities, talk to God, through journaling. Ask God the things that you want to ask Him. Tell Him how your day was through journaling. I've been trying to remain consistent with that. I haven't been doing it as often as I should, I'm going to admit. But I really have been trying to remain consistent with journaling. It really gives you a sense of reflection when you look back or when you read back those pages. It's just enlightening to see where you've come and how far you've come. And I've been reflecting on the past few weeks and probably going back before that on some of the things that I've been through. And I realized that one of the things I find really hard to do is letting go. I struggle so much with letting go of things, of people, of places, of things that are just embedded in my memories. And I know sometimes these memories are good. It's good to have memories. As a matter of fact, life is about a series of memories that we get to create, that we get to live. Everything, every area, every aspect, every season of our lives, it's literally a series of memories. When you, even the lessons that you would have, the hard things that we would have gone through, don't let me air quote hard, the bad things that we would have been through are some of the most enlightening things and some of the most important life lessons that we had. In order for us to, pull from those things, pull from those life lessons, in order for us to use it in any scenario that we may be presently going through or we are to go through in the future, we have to remember them. It needs to be a part of our memories. And I know a lot of times we do not want to remember the bad things. We try to bury those memories and just keep it there, because I am guilty of that. I am 100% guilty of wanting to bury memories and just acting or pretending or convincing myself that that never happened. And sometimes that's not necessarily the best thing, because we do need those memories in order to act out of purpose, in order to act intentionally this time. So when you're starting over, when you're moving forward, when you're in a new season, you are not starting from scratch. You are starting from experience. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons why we need to try to understand the purpose in every single thing that we go through, in order for those events, in order for those experiences to serve the purpose that they are meant to serve, and not just try to keep the good stuff and remove the bad stuff. So yeah, I was thinking about letting go of stuff, and I know that that's one of my weak points. Have you guys ever done, I know I'm all over the place, I blame the OCD. Have you guys ever done a SWOT analysis on yourself? I really want you to try this. Check out your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities that you would have because of those strengths, and the threats that you face because of your weaknesses. Should an opportunity present itself, what are your strengths that will get you the opportunity? And what are the things that you need to work on in terms of your weaknesses? Take a minute, take some time, do that, write down those things, write down the good things, the bad things. I'm in a season now where I am learning so much about me. I'm learning so much about myself, and I love it here. I love it here. I've never felt so familiar with who I am. I feel like we've gone through so many things in life. By the time we get a certain point where we sit and really ask ourselves who we are, we have no clue. We have no idea who we are. So those are some of the things that I want to encourage you guys to do, to just understand really who you are, what are your strengths, your weaknesses, how can you walk into every opportunity, how can you negate every threat, you know So yeah, I do think that you guys should try that. Definitely 100% recommend. But I keep saying I'm all over the place. Every time a thought comes to my mind, I keep drifting from what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure you guys are like, girl, what were you talking about? What were you talking about with the letting go of stuff? Jeez. Anyways, as I was saying, when it comes to letting go of stuff, I struggle with that so much. And I you listen to all these podcasts and you listen to all these motivational speeches and all these persons talking about letting go of things that no longer serves you. And I love that for us. I love that we are all coming into a space where we understand that sometimes when things no longer serve you, let go for your own self-care, for your self-love, for your self-development, for your growth, everything that you need to do to invest in you. Let go of those things that no longer serve you. If let us normalize also walking away from things that no longer serve us without an explanation. What I mean by that is when you, let's say you were an alcoholic and you decided that that's something you no longer want to do. But you have a group of friends that you normally hang out with on that level to where you guys drink, you party, you just have a good time, and that's what you have in common. And then you decide that that's what no longer what you want. And you decide to let go of that version of you, of that thing that is keeping you there. I experience this so much as someone who does not consume alcohol. If I tell someone I do not drink, they'd be so surprised. And then they're gonna say, oh my god, why? Like it's such a bad thing. And then now I'm sitting there like, yeah, I don't drink because I'm working on getting better. I don't like not being aware of what's happening. I first of all cannot handle alcohol and it's just a long explanation as to why I do not drink. Let us just leave people be when they see certain things. I no longer drink. That's good. That's cool. All right. I see you. Do you, boo. Love that for you, king. Love that for you, queen. I'm proud of you. 10 out of 10. Let's normalize those kind of comments when people come with certain things like that. Because really and truly, sometimes the extra stuff, not necessarily leave people be, allow them to be who they want to be, and just allow them to let go of that version of themselves. I do not appreciate people that try to hold on to the version of me. I'm only speaking for me. Try to hold on to the version of me that I no longer am. And sometimes you cannot blame those people because that's all they know. That's all they know of you. But I believe if you care about someone and they're trying to move on from this particular version of them that was not doing them any good, that was not serving them, and they're trying to move out of that, I think support is all that you should give. Sometimes I think the way that you deal with those people that continuously reminds you of the person that you were, or try to put you back in that frame of mind that you were in when you were not this version of yourself, when you were not this better version of yourself. Those people, sometimes we just have to understand that the relationship has come to its point of ending. So it has served its purpose, and maybe the memory of who you were is what that person needs to hold on to. Maybe they don't need to come to this next chapter. They don't need to walk into the new chapter that you are going, because sometimes we try to force relationships into the next chapter, or even situations. Sometimes we try to force things. Sometimes we try to force people, whether it be family, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, into the newer version or the newer chapter of our lives. And they're just not meant to be there. So it's an injustice to yourself because they have their certain limitations of the version of you that they see you as, which is the maximum version of you that they can see, that they are permitted to see. So every time it is that you're trying to get to the next level, they will try to keep you there, not intentionally or not to cause harm, but it's just that is it. That's the cap. That is the maximum version of you that they can see. So it makes you feel as though they're pulling you down, and it makes them feel as though you are distant from them. So it does no one any good by holding on to those things. And I'm not saying necessarily cutting them off completely, but you do have a different level that you need to keep those people on. And it's not necessarily to shun anyone, to push anyone away, or anything of the sort. It's just doing what's best for you and letting go of the things that no longer serve you. That is one aspect of it that I wanted to talk about. And in addition to that, what I realized that a lot of people don't talk about is not only letting go of the things that no longer serve you, but letting go of the things that you no longer serve. Yes, letting go. And I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Let go of the things that you no longer serve. And I find that this happens with a lot of older siblings. I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean. When it comes to the serving season, we are all, every single one of us, experience a season of serving to where we are not in the spotlight. Our job in this season, our purpose in this season is to add value to someone else, to add value to something else, to use our experiences, to use our past, to use our knowledge, to use our wisdom, and just pour into someone else, something else, or someplace else, not necessarily to benefit us so that we may be the shining star or we may be in the spotlight of whatever benefit or whatever goodness, greatness, or purpose that is supposed to come out of this thing or this person. But we are to pour into them so that they can get to their purpose, so that they can get to their greatness, so that this place that I'm at, this job that I do not like, that I go to every day and I'm wondering and I'm praying and I'm fasting and I'm asking God to remove me. And God is saying, stay still, be there. You are the person that are meant to make a difference. We all have that season where we are meant to serve. I truly believe that I'm in the serving season right now to where I just feel like God has been calling me to give back. And if I'm to sit here and tell you guys that I've been doing it 100% or that I've been doing everything that I need to do, I'd be lying. I would be lying. I can do so much better and I'm trying to be more aware of it. I know this is a safe space. I told you guys I'm going to try to be completely transparent with you. At no point in time should you ever look at me and think that I have it all together. I do not. I am actually very far from having it all together. I do not. Sometimes your girl be fighting for her life. Not just to get by, sorry, but to do the right things. I'd be fighting to do the right thing. You know, sometimes you know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but you just don't want to do that. And I I am just this kind of person that if I don't want to do something, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And if you are too pushy about me if I was about to do it, Caribbean people, I don't know if this is an everybody thing, but yeah, lock in for a minute. You're going downstairs, and you said to yourself, self, yourself, what? You're like, how you doing today, girl? Yourself was like, I'm good. How you feeling? I feel like washing the dishes. Yeah, let's do that. Let's wash the dishes. So you go into the kitchen with your good up big heart, and you decide that you're going to wash the dishes. No one told you to do it. You decide you're gonna wash the dishes. Out of nowhere, here comes your mom. Hello, go downstairs and wash them dishes. Girl, I was gonna wash the dishes. No, you might want to wash the dishes. You no longer want to wash the dishes. I am like that. We, what you mean wash the dishes? Now you demanding that I wash the dishes? No, I don't want to wash it. I don't, because I feel like no, it's no longer my free will. You're forced to be, and I don't want to do it if you're gonna. So, I know a lot of us. It's like that. I'm like that. Raise your hand if you're like that. So if I feel like I'm being forced to do something, I don't want to do it. But sometimes when God has us in the season of serving, we always have to put ourselves aside and just understand that there's a bigger purpose. There's a bigger picture. There is there is something or someone out there that requires you to do it. And if God is telling you to do it, even if he shout at you and make you do, because how many of us know that if God tells you to move and you do not move, if that man gotta make you move, sweetie, the push that you're gonna get, you don't want no smoke. So I think it's in our best interest if we be obedient. Yes, if we be obedient to when God is calling us to move. Because if you're a Caribbean parent till you go and wash the dishes and you decided that you don't want to wash it because you were gonna wash it and then they kind of forcing you to wash it, now you don't want to go. If they gotta get up and make you go wash it, they will probably pelt you with something, pelt you with a pot spoon in your head. You gotta get up and go get it done. So when you're in that season of serving, which I believe that I'm in also right now, get up and get it done. Get up and move when you're in the season of serving. Be obedient and don't do it just because. You gotta want to do it. You have to want to contribute. I feel like that is when you get the best, or give rather the best of yourself. That is when you give the best that you can give. When you want to be in that space of giving, when you want to be there, when you want to contribute, when you want to add to the greater purpose, that is when you give your best. So I want us to get in that mindset of giving and serving with a grateful heart, saying, God, thank you for having me here. Thank you for having me in this season of serving. Thank you for having me in this season of waiting. It's not always about being in a spotlight. It's about contributing to a bigger, greater purpose than what you are in this moment. So as I was saying, yeah, when you are in that season of serving and you would have given it your 100%, and God is saying, okay, now it's time to move away from this area, this aspect, this season of your life. This is the time to move away from that. Let go of the things that you no longer serve so that you can get into the next season of appreciating what serves you, or the next season of serving the next thing, in order for that aspect of your life to grow, in order for that purpose to be fulfilled. And why I mentioned specifically older siblings, as an older, my mom has 9 of us. I think I mentioned that in one of my previous videos. And my dad, you guys, I don't know. I don't know. I probably have some siblings out here that I've never seen in my life, in my whole entire life. So I'm not gonna try to get into how many kids my dad have. That's between him and God. That man was trying to populate the earth himself. It is crazy work. I fear dating one of my siblings because I don't know what they look like. I don't know their names. It's just crazy. He has a lot of kids, plenty. But as older siblings, being an older sister myself, we tend to want to protect the younger ones. And even as parents, I would think that as parents, you want to give your children 100% better life than you have. As a sibling, you want your younger siblings to not experience the pain, the trauma, the hurt, the life lessons that you would have had to go through. And so you develop this sense of protection over them, to the point where if you're not careful, if you are not conscious of the fact that you're doing it, you will shield them so much so that you shield them from the growth that they can possibly have. You shield them from the experiences that will cause them to grow in different areas of their lives. Sometimes we're sheltering our siblings, our kids, so much that we block them from experiences that would cause emotional maturity, that would cause mental maturity, to where they understand how to deal with situations, because they would never have had the chance to go through those things. They wouldn't know what it's like to deal with that should the situation arise once they're older. So, you know how in your mother's womb, the child is feeding through the umbilical cord, and you're getting all the nutrients from your mother through that means, and that is what is beneficial to you in that season. And as a mom, that is the serving that you are doing, or the service that you are giving to your child in that season, that is proven to be beneficiary, or mandatory rather, in order for them to stay alive, to grow, to mature, in order for them to get to that point where they can now go on their own. So when you birth that child, the same source, the same support, the same thing that you were doing or you were giving, that was causing them to stay alive, that was so beneficial to them, that it really and truly was saving their lives, is now proven to be detrimental, to where you have to cut the umbilical cord after you would have birthed them, or that can kill them. Yeah. The same thing that was serving a purpose in keeping them alive, that was serving a purpose in causing them to grow, in causing them to be healthy, to give them nutrition, supplement, everything that they need. That same thing, that same service that you are doing, that same thing that you were giving to them, is now proven to be detrimental at a different stage of their lives. So when we have our little siblings, when we have kids, and we shelter them up until the point of, let's say, 18. Let's just say 18. And after that, we do not allow them to go out into the world and to understand what it means to stand, not necessarily on your own, to say you wouldn't have the support, but to stand on your own, to understand how to deal with certain things on your own. Because God forbid you are no longer there, it would cause them more harm than good to not have those experiences, to not having gone through those trials, those tribulations, all the things that molded us into being responsible, into being respectful, into being humble, into being appreciative, into being grateful for the things that we have. Because for me personally, I would not trade my childhood. If you guys know some of the stories and the things that I would have gone through, it is out of this world. But I wouldn't trade it. I would not trade it, because it has molded me into the person that I am today. And this version of me, I still need to grow. I still need to heal. I still need to get into a more mature mindset. I still need to understand purpose. There's so much more, and I still have my whole life ahead of me. But I would not trade my childhood, because of the fact that it has molded me into the person that I am today, this person that I am so grateful that God has allowed me to be. That God did not allow the bad experiences to change my heart. And that's one of the things that I want to encourage you guys. And I know that sometimes when you are hurt, when the people that are supposed to protect you are the people that hurt you, It makes you want to turn your mind against love. It makes you want to turn your heart away from everything. And it causes you to self sabotage to where you reject everything good. But don't do that. Do not do that. If you don't take away anything else today, take away this. Anyone, do not let any person, any being on this earth change your heart from who God would have meant for you to be. Do not let those bad experiences with love and people and relationship cause you to be bitter. You were not meant to be bitter. Do not let those things change who you are genuinely. If you can do one thing, it's try to hold on to yourself. Try to hold on to yourself, because as life would have it, if life would have it, you would be torn into so many pieces and picking up the fragments of yourself every day and you would not even know who you are at the end of it. And I do believe that a lot of us struggle with that. And I say us because myself included, to where I have been through so much hurt. I've been through so much pain. I have lived for so many people that if you were to stand here and ask me who I am today, I would not have a clear cut answer. And I'm working on that. I'm still growing. I'm still learning who I am, because I am being intentional. I am being intentional about learning my likes, learning my dislikes, learning what I truly want. I feel like throughout my entire life, I've just been who everyone else wanted me to be. Even in relationships, you get in relationships, and the person that you're with, you just want them to be happy by any means. And they say that, oh, I don't like girls. Well, I'm not one to ever speak very loudly, but just for the sake of an example, you get into a relationship, and you're very outspoken and you're outgoing, and you meet this person and you love them so much that you want them to be happy and you want them to love you back and you want to feel the same love that you give. And they say, oh, well, I don't like persons that are loud, or I don't like it when you go out and you talk to everyone. And then you suppress that part of you. You become less outgoing. You talk a little less. You smile a little less by extension. And then before you know it, you're a little less of who you are. And then you get into, let's say that doesn't work, you get into another relationship and that person likes a different version of you. And then you adjust again. You adjust to that. And I don't think you do it consciously. I don't think that you decide to do it. You just automatically do it. If you are not aware that, or if you are not intentional about holding on to who you are, you change without realizing, because change is inevitable. As humans, we are naturally drawn to change. We will change with the times. If you notice, all these technologies are out now, and we're gradually changing with that. And that is good, because it's good to change and keep up with the times. But it's just natural. It is natural. So you might not be conscious of the fact that you're changing. But if you were in 3 relationships, you would have been 3 different versions of yourself. If you are not conscious about holding on to who you are, you will be 3 different versions of yourself. And let's say none of those relationship works. Then you're sitting there and you have no clue who you are. At the end of the day, if you decide to sit with yourself, you have no clue who you are. So I want us to be intentional about holding on to who you are, not letting people change your heart, not letting people change your core. Do you know that if a lot of us weren't healing so constantly, we would have been so much farther along with our journeys, with our purpose, with our lives. But every time we have to take a minute to heal from sometimes a pain that was not even necessary, something that we found ourselves in that we did not, and you know when you have no business there in the first place. But When we find ourselves in a continuous state of healing, it delays your purpose. It delays you fulfilling your purpose. I want you to be intentional with holding on to the core you. Holding on to that girl or that man that laughs out loud, that speaks their mind. Hold on to those things. Hold on to the core version of you. And change will come. Change must come. Change is inevitable. But I want you to hold on to the version of you that God has called you to be. And yeah, I want you to be intentional about letting go of the things that no longer serves you. Definitely letting go of the things that you no longer serve, to where you can walk into the next area of your purpose, of your life, of your experience, and allow that next chapter to have the best of you. Do not remain stuck in a place where you got comfortable. Do not remain in a place where you got comfortable serving or being served. That next chapter, that next season needs you there. And I want you to be intentional about walking away from those situations, not to leave a negative impact, but to leave your footprints and to keep on carrying on so the next person can follow in those footprints, to pave a path for the next person, and also to walk that path to where God is calling you to be. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys today about. I am definitely going to try to post more consistently, because I know that for the past 2 weeks I have not posted anything, and I know that you guys have been reaching out and asking what was up with that, and I'm going to be intentional about that, about posting more consistently, because I do not want to let you guys down. Always remember that this is a safe space and you guys can tell me anything.